Imagine waking up tomorrow morning. Your phone buzzes with notifications. You check them, but something's off. You open up your browser. Google? Gone. You check Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, nothing loads. You try to message your friends, but the text won't send. Suddenly there's no connection to the world. No news, no entertainment, no updates, just silence. Sounds crazy, right? Like something out of a dystopian movie? But here's the shocking truth. This has already happened to millions of people in places all around the world. Governments have the power to simply flip a switch and cut off the internet. Just like that. No warning, no explanation, and they can do it anytime they want. But why? Why would any government ever want to shut down the digital world? And most importantly, could it happen to you? In the next few minutes, we'll uncover the chilling truth behind internet blackouts, how governments use this power, and what it really means for your freedom, privacy, and access to information. An internet shutdown is exactly what it sounds like. A deliberate decision by a government or telecom company to cut off access to the web. It's not just a glitch, it's not an accident, it's a decision. A choice to flip the switch on the entire digital world. Now, it can vary. Sometimes it's a total blackout. No access to the internet anywhere in the country. Think of it like the entire nation being locked out of the digital world. Nothing works. No emails, no browsing, no connections. Everything stops. Other times, it's more targeted. Maybe they just block specific apps or websites. Social media platforms like Twitter and Facebook get blocked during protests to prevent people from organizing. Or apps like WhatsApp might be disabled to stop people from communicating. It can be partial, affecting just certain services or regions. Maybe only one city is hit, or the government just takes down the news websites. But one thing's clear. You're cut off from the digital world in one way or another. And while it might sound like something straight out of a science fiction movie, this is happening in real life. In fact, over 35 countries have initiated internet shutdowns just in the last few years. Governments around the world are making the decision to hit the off switch, and it's becoming more common than you might think. Let's look at a few chilling real-life examples. When the internet suddenly vanishes, it doesn't just affect convenience. It disrupts lives. It shapes the entire course of history. Here are just a few examples of what happens when governments decide to pull the plug. Take India, for example, the world's largest democracy. It sounds like a place where free speech and access to information should thrive, right? Well, in 2023, India experienced over 84 shutdowns in a single year alone. Mostly during protests, political rallies, and moments of social unrest. That's 84 times the government decided to shut down internet access across cities, states, and sometimes the entire country, leaving millions of people stranded in the dark. And it's not just about stopping Facebook or Instagram, it's everything. News websites, banking apps, and essential communication services, gone. Next, let's look at Iran in 2019. During a time of severe anti-government protests, the Iranian government made a drastic move. They shut down almost all internet access for 6 full days. That's over a week without communication. No social media updates, no news, no way to communicate with loved ones. The entire country plunged into a digital blackout. The world didn't know what was happening until days later. It was a digital silence, and that's exactly what the government wanted. Then there's Myanmar in 2021. After a military coup, the newly installed government made sure to clamp down hard on any form of dissent, including shutting off the internet every single night. Every night for months, the internet was cut off at precisely the same time. No communication, no way to organize protests, no access to global news. It was a nightly ritual of digital isolation. It was a strategic move to stop any kind of resistance from spreading. In those dark hours, the world couldn't see what was really happening. And these aren't just isolated incidents. Governments are turning off the internet all over the world, using this power to control communication, shape public opinion, and maintain their grip on power. So, why would any government want to shut down the internet? I mean, cutting off access to information sounds like something out of a sci-fi dystopia, right? But believe it or not, there are reasons governments do this, and they're not as far-fetched as they sound. First, one of the biggest reasons, control of protests. When people start taking to the streets, voicing their dissatisfaction with the government, what's one of the first things they do? They organize online. They spread the word, plan the movements, and rally the troops through social media, hashtags, and live streams. So what better way to stop a protest from getting bigger than shutting down the very thing people use to organize it? No internet means no hashtags, no live streams, no way to share what's happening. Just like that, the power to mobilize people fades away. The next reason is about controlling the information. Think about it. During a crisis, when things are chaotic, governments might want to make sure they control the narrative. If the internet is full of conflicting reports, rumors, and bad news, how does a government maintain control? It's like pressing pause on free speech. By cutting off access to social media, blogs, and news websites, they can create a digital blackout, effectively stopping the flow of information and shaping what people are able to see, hear, and believe. No more viral videos, no more live updates, only the government's official story. And then, there's the more interesting reason: cheating prevention. Wait, what? Yep, you heard that right. Some countries have literally shut down the entire internet during national exams to stop students from cheating. In Algeria, for example, they've cut off internet access during exams to prevent students from looking up answers online or sharing them on social media. So, instead of focusing on education, the government decides that a full-scale internet shutdown is the best way to handle the situation. It's like using a sledgehammer to crack a walnut, but hey, at least they won't have to deal with any more exam leaks, right? So, whether it's stopping protests, controlling the information flow, or preventing cheating, the reasons behind these shutdowns are all about power. Governments are choosing to control what their people can say, share, and see. And when they do that, they can reshape reality. So, how do they actually pull the plug on the internet? It sounds complicated, but trust me, it's not as hard as you might think. Governments have developed a few tricks up their sleeves to control what you see and access online, and it all starts with controlling the infrastructure. First off, governments often have direct control over internet service providers, or ISPs. These ISPs are the ones that give you internet access. So, if the government says, hey, shut it down, they can make it happen because they're the ones who own or regulate the flow of data. In many countries, telecom companies are either partially or fully state-owned, making it incredibly easy for governments to pull the plug. They just issue an order and bam, no internet for you. Now things get even more interesting. Some countries have a literal kill switch, a centralized system that can block all internet traffic instantly. This is the nuclear option for governments, where they can basically flip a switch and shut everything down in a matter of seconds. Imagine a giant red button somewhere in a government building, and when they hit it, the entire country's internet is gone. Just like that. No more browsing, no more tweets, no more anything. But not all governments go for the nuclear option. Instead, some choose to just block specific websites or apps. They might take down Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, but leave the rest of the internet up and running. It's like hitting the pause button on only part of the internet. You can still check your email or watch Netflix, but your ability to connect with others on social media, gone. Governments can even block messaging apps like WhatsApp or Signal, making it harder for people to organize and communicate. It's a targeted approach, but it still stifles free expression and can shut down any real-time grassroots movements. So, whether it's flipping the kill switch, controlling the flow of data through ISPs, or blocking apps one by one, governments have the tools they need to turn off the internet, and they can do it with military-like precision. You might be thinking, well, I'm in the US, UK, or Canada. We're safe, right? I mean, we have democracies, freedoms, and civil rights, so surely internet shutdowns are something that only happen in authoritarian regimes, right? Well, not so fast. Even democratic governments have emergency powers that could restrict your internet access under certain conditions. For example, in the United States, there's something called the Communications Act of 1934. And it might sound like something from the Great Depression era, but it actually gives the president the power to shut down all communications networks during a national emergency. Yes, that includes the internet. The law allows the president to declare a national emergency, and in that scenario, the government can take control of telecommunications, including the internet, to prevent foreign interference, disinformation, or even to control civil unrest. The tools to shut it down exist, it's just a question of, would they use them? And it's not just about stopping protests or controlling the narrative. These powers are also used for security, to protect national interests during times of conflict or instability. So even in countries that value freedom, the government has the power to press pause on the internet. The big question is, under what circumstances would they choose to use it? So, what can we do about this? After all, we can't just sit back and let governments pull the plug, right? The good news is, there are steps we can take to protect ourselves and stay connected, even in the event of an internet shutdown. First up, VPNs. These are your best friends when it comes to bypassing censorship or internet restrictions. A VPN masks your location and allows you to access websites and apps that may be blocked in your country. It's like a digital cloak of invisibility, perfect for getting around government restrictions. Next, there's the power of decentralized tools. Apps like Bridgefy let you chat with others without needing the internet. Think of it like sending messages through Bluetooth without any reliance on cell towers or Wi-Fi. These apps are perfect for protests or any situation where the government might shut down the internet, but you still need to communicate. Another important step is to stay informed. You need to know your digital rights and be aware of what's happening with internet freedom. Organizations like Access Now and the EFF are working hard to protect internet freedom worldwide, and they provide valuable tools and updates to help you navigate a potential shutdown. Lastly, talk about it. The more people know about internet shutdowns and their consequences, the harder it is for governments to carry out these actions without scrutiny. It's about spreading the word and keeping governments accountable. The more voices join the conversation, the more difficult it becomes for them to act in the shadows. So whether it's using VPNs, decentralized tools, staying informed, or just spreading awareness, there's a lot we can do to protect our digital freedoms and stay connected. The internet isn't just about memes and cat videos, it's where we organize, speak out, and stay connected. It's our digital lifeline, and the fact that it can be turned off, just like that, is something we should all be paying attention to. We've seen it happen in other countries, and it's a real possibility that it could happen anywhere. So the next time you hit send or scroll through your feed, remember the internet isn't a given. It's a privilege. If you found this video eye-opening, hit that like button and share this with someone who takes the internet for granted. And drop a comment below. Would your country ever shut down the internet? Let us know your thoughts. Also, if you're interested in more on this topic, be sure to check out the next video, How AI is Helping Governments Monitor You. You won't want to miss it, or if you're in the mood for something a bit different, check out 5 Scary Ways Tech is Silently Controlling You. Thanks for watching, stay informed, and keep your digital freedom safe.